We were paying $2 a gallon,
Yep.
and everyone's like, oh no, like, how am I going to pay my bills? And then it goes down to $3 a gallon, and everyone's like, this is great.
This is
like,
the best
this is
thing.
the best.
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. All right, welcome back to another episode of The Closing Table, and with us today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Troy Seyfert. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
So I want to get into a little bit of your experience being a realtor here in Michigan, so let's talk about it. First and foremost, I want to get into your background. So I did a little bit of history on you. I see you went to high school 12 hours away from where you actually grew up. You actually have a degree in youth ministries.
Yep.
And sings for the church anytime you get an opportunity, and you're also a full-time realtor. Tell me, how do you juggle all of these things all at once?
Sure. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it just has to do with just balance, I guess. And I've tried to like work with that over time. So yeah, I moved I'm wearing my Philadelphia garb here. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday.
Of course, I got to
represent.
We will talk about it.
So I lived in central eastern Pennsylvania, and so with and then moving to Indiana and just being able to I realized the importance of family in life and like just how valuable that is. Yeah. So I also know that like I'm an incredibly like hard, self-driven person. So, I think for me, like as I've had kids, so I have a son and a daughter, 2 kids. And I think for myself, like when the family kind of came in, then it was like family took priority over the other things. Correct. Except for my job, because I've got to like put food on the table and I've got to feed the family,
as a man,
provide shelter. So, so for me, like it's just prioritizing, okay, what's important? So my job's important to feed my family. My family's important to me because it is my family. Gotcha. So whatever happens or whatever's thrown at me, if it doesn't line up with my priorities, then it'll be, I don't think I should do this right now, or this might not be a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I get it. So you mentioned that you're a family man.
Yeah.
I see also on your digital presence, you share photos of your family. Yeah. You also share personal stories. I read a personal story of you online also. Okay. Well, I love the transparency, me personally. I want you to explain, why do you feel like it could be beneficial sharing your family photos and your personal stories so that your clients and other prospects can see that and know about you?
I think they need to see that I'm a real person that has, like, yes, in real estate, you go according to the schedule of your clients. I think, and I've been very, very blessed and fortunate to have clients that are pretty understanding about, hey, you have a family. Like I had some clients, they were first time home buyers. I mean, they don't understand the real estate process, but they would apologize like if they had to see a property on a Saturday or Sunday, because they're like, we know that that's family time. Right. And, and maybe it's just like the type of vibe I give to certain clients or whatever, but a lot of my clients are pretty respectful of that. That's good. So I think being able to share that, like, yes, my family is important to me helps with the balance of real estate, because then, you're kind of like, all right, things can just get extremely busy, and then you just feel like you're just in your job mode. Yeah. And if you never talk about them, then people are just going to assume, oh, he's got all the time in the world for me.
True. You mentioned also that you are an expert online marketer. All caps, an expert. I definitely saw that. Can you explain what makes you an expert in digital marketing?
So, I would say I understand Facebook and just the social media aspect of, just how to promote things. My social media site, which is under our team name, Capital Area Real Estate Specialist. We have close to 2,000 followers.
Okay.
So, you know, there's exposure for that. I understand the different groups that are out there as far as like if I'm listing a home in Okemos or if I'm listing a home in Grand Ledge, I'm a part of those community pages so that I can share those listings with them so that other people can go, hey, this one's for sale. Hey, you should check it out. It's amazing like how many people do that. But also it helps to use the top-notch photography, which you guys did not pay me to say this, but but Windowsill, they are the best. And I tell everybody we pay a premium for best photography that's out there. And I mean, that always just helps people see like, okay, we take our job seriously and we don't just take the little iPhone picture with our thumb, with our thumb in the camera. Like, hey, I'm taking this photo over here.
Put some effort into it, you know?
Exactly. Come on, people. So, yeah.
Okay. I also see you recently, I believe this was last year or within the last couple of years, you received acknowledgement for your company's, or was it Remax's 40 under 40?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
talk about that, please.
It's the only year. So this is full disclosure. The only year that I'm going to get it because I turned 40 this year. So just to let you all know. But hey, I got it right.
Yes, you did.
I have somebody in my office that jokes with me because she's 30 years old. She's like, I still got 10 more years, Troy. You know, whatever. But yeah, no. I mean, it was really an honor to get it because it's like you know, I mean, not everybody can have that. You know, just that distinguished, you know, sort of honor to have that. And, you know, to be able to be with it with my peers is great. We got invited to go to a conference like out in California for those of us who made that. And, you know, so yeah, it was a privilege just to be able to be a part of it and kind of be a part of like the crew that's, you know, doing a lot of things and working hard.
Right. Okay. Nice. There's a few things you said makes a successful real estate agent or something of that nature. You mentioned home, family, a good investment. A good real estate agent understands the importance of these things. Could you explain exactly what home, family, good investment, and these type of elements are and why they are important?
So I would say just overall, that statement more so would mean like you just got to be in real estate. You've got to be a good listener, and you have got to know what is the person's goal. What are they trying to do? So if I have an investor, I'm going to approach them differently than somebody who is maybe moving to the area and they only want to be in something for a couple years or they want to move up. Same thing with somebody who's like, I'm looking for my long-term house. Like I want to be here forever. So a lot of it has to do with being a good agent is listening to everybody, you know, if they want that second home up at the lake, if what are their goals and helping them accomplish that to the best of your, you know, knowledge and ability. But it takes having two ears, not just talking the entire you know, time about what you think is best.
Okay. Who would you say would make up most of your clientele? Would it be the younger first-time home buyers? Would it be older people looking to move out and maybe into condos and stay away from actual homes? Would it be the actual family actually trying to, you know, maybe find something bigger? What would you say would be your majority clientele?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I would say it's a really good mix. I mean, I would say a lot of my referrals come from my church just because of being involved. Okay. So, you know, a lot of them have kids. A lot of them are my same age. It kind of depends on like what you're involved in, you know, there as well. But I would say it's a decent mix just because at my church, like there's a lot of older people. There's a lot of people that are my age. There's some people that are, you know, there's a good crowd of like younger people there too. Right. But even with investing in internet leads, a lot of the people that go on that are, you know, millennials, people that are my age, just because they're just been used to seeing like, hey, I got to go online to try to find a house. Right. So I do find a lot of those, you know, those types of clients as well. So if I had to like bet on one that I would have the greatest percentage of, might be like people who are in my same stage of life, like 2 kids, married, 2 kids.
Yeah, like the family type of. Okay, good. So it was something that you mentioned that made me want to piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit off topic, but mentorship.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in real estate that you may have idolized, looked up to, or maybe modeled yourself after because they were successful? You want to kind of follow in that leadership. Is there anyone out there that exists like that?
So I mean, I know some very innovative people that I follow. One of them is Jared James. He has a huge social media presence. He was in real estate for a while, and he's just a go-getter with like just brilliant ideas and things that you could do in real estate. I'm a part of a group with Ramsey Solutions. So I'm an endorsed local provider in the area, and so every month we have coaching calls with realtors from throughout the nation. And so being able to even like learn from them through those monthly coaching calls of what they're doing and, hey, how are they navigating this market? Cause they're in the trenches. Cause I mean, there's mentors out there like Buffini and, but they haven't been in the trenches like the people who are on my coaching calls.
Gotcha.
So being able to learn from them and just be able to find like, hey, how are things going? That's been a huge help. And I've been fortunate to have brokers in my real estate career that have been very hands-on, very caring, willing to help.
Right.
So, I mean, that's been great as well.
Okay, good. Always good to have help first and foremost. Let's talk about difficult times. Most recently, there were times where interest rates were fluctuating, going up record highs, record lows, things of that nature. How did you kind of maneuver through that? Or how do you maneuver a client that you could potentially have, but they may be worried about interest rates at the time? Like, how do you kind of go around hooking that person in?
Yeah. So I would say, when people started hearing the interest rates were going up, I had a client that was concerned about it, but then he spoke with somebody who was local in town about interest rates, and they said, hey, you can do what's known as an ARM interest rate, and you could start low, and then as time goes on, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 years from now, like the rate will go up, which is a lot better than what the ARM products used to be when we were going through the crash.
Right.
So that was like a creative way. That was like the first time I had heard like, okay, loan officers are starting to do that. But now like the ARM rates, from what I'm understanding, they're actually pretty comparable to the standard rates. So there's not as much of a savings there. But I think the one thing I would say is that with the interest rates going up as high as they are, people are still paying a ton in rent.
Really?
So, and I was just telling somebody here today about a client that just signed on with me, and we got him under contract, and she was saying in Okemos she was paying $1,800 a month in rent, and she wanted to like try to find a house that was going to be less than $1,800 a month. And so she was looking for a condo in the area. We were able to get her under contract for under $150,000, in the Hazlitt area for a condo. And hey, like she's saving money, and then she's also building equity. So as long as the rent rates stay high, even if the interest rates are going higher, like buyers will still be out there.
Right.
And in fact, and I always give this comparison with interest rates too. Like interest rates were going down maybe about 0.5%, and then you started seeing more buyers come out and out of the woodwork, like, oh yeah, like they went down. So I compared it to the gas prices, because remember, gas prices.
Yes.
So like it's like $4.30 a gallon for gas, and we were paying $2 a gallon, and everyone's like, oh no, like how am I going to pay my bills? And then it goes down to $3 a gallon, and everyone's like, this is great.
This is
like
the best
thing. Because as humans, like
that's true.
We forget. We forget about it. And we're like, oh, they actually went down. So the same thing with interest rates. Like I see at some point, could they go down? Yes. And when they do, because people are used to this is what the rate has been. They're just gonna adapt and be like, oh, this is great, they're going down. It's like, oh, you don't remember when they were like 2-3%?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was just talking about this. Like, you just have to get it. I think the most important thing is if you have the opportunity to get the home that you're really looking for, your dream home, do everything you can to zero in on that. Other than that, like, as far as interest rates and pricing, you have to adjust for your budget, but focus in on what you really want and then kind of worry about everything else later.
Right.
Because like I said, like, the interest rates may never go back down to the 2s, 3s, 1s ever again. Like, let's take what we can get at this point.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So what market do you currently serve? Let's let everyone know.
Greater Lansing. Area real estate market.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and let everyone know how they can get in contact with you if they are interested in reaching out.
Yep. So you can contact me on my cell phone, 540-535-5747. My email address is T and then my last name Seyfert at lmcares.com. And my website is www.capitalarearealestatespecialists.com.
All right. Real quick before we go, you got the gear on. We got to give predictions. Obviously, we already know who you're rooting for.
Really?
You're from Pennsylvania, so just to let, he's not a bandwagon fan.
No, I'm not. I'm not just rooting for the Eagles because I'm like, hey, I'm just going to start rooting for this team. I've been a lifelong fan.
So when this episode comes out, Super Bowl's already done.
Yeah.
We want to look back on this video. What are your score predictions? So
what are we betting on? What are we betting on?
I mean, bragging rights.
There you go. Okay, all right. That's fine. I was hoping I was going to win like $10,000 or something. I don't know.
This might be the wrong show for that.
So I'm going to say Eagles win 28-21.
One touchdown lead over them. Is it right down to the last minute, or is it just an advantage throughout the whole game?
Man, that's a good question. So I think it'll be like 28-7, around halftime, and then maybe the Chiefs will start making a comeback a little bit and make it a little interesting. But because the Eagles are really good at the first half, like they have been like recently. So I'm thinking the first half they'll come out strong, and then the Chiefs will, again, I could be totally wrong.
No, these are predictions.
This is going to make me look horrible. If I'm completely wrong, people don't think that my football predictions are how I am with real estate, because I'm not like that. I promise you.
Let's take that off the closing table. Thank you again, Troy. Appreciate your time for being here. Once again, if you're watching on YouTube, if you got this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to our channel. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Hit the like button, give us a 5-star rating and review, and also subscribe so you can get caught up with the latest content. Before we go, let me leave our audience with the question: do you plan on renting or owning a home when it comes to long term? Go off in the live chat in the comments, I should say, below. Other than that, we'll see you next time.